صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسألك الناس عن الساعة قل إنما علمها عند الله وما يدريك لعل الساعة تكون قريبا إن الله لعن الكافرين وأعد لهم سعيرا خالدين فيها أبدا لا يجدون وليا ولا نصيرا يوم تقلب وجوههم في النار يقولون يا ليتنا أطعنا الله يقولون يا ليتنا أطعنا الله وأطعنا الرسولا وقالوا ربنا إنا أطعنا سادتنا وكبراءنا فأضلونا السبيلا ربنا آتهم ضعفين من العذاب والعنهم لعنا كبيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تكونوا كالذين آذوا موسى فبرأه الله مما قالوا وكان عند الله وجيها يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
Thank you for that wonderful recitation, Brother Zain. Another loud salawat. I would just like to take a moment to recognize today's sponsors and to request a recitation for their marhumin, the Raza family, and for everybody's marhumin after loud salawat. And now I would like to invite Brother Muhammad Ibrahim up for a salam after salawat.
Salawat. By Allah, I will never forget you, Hussein. For you I cry each day and night. My tears won't dry. Ya Zahra, I will never forget your Hussein. Hussein Karbala, Hussein the martyr, O son of Zahra, Hussein our master. For truth he did stand in that burning sand. He gave all he had for the sake of Allah. He gave everything from his brothers to his sons to be by his side. Now there isn't anyone. He gave everything from his brothers to his sons to be by his side. Now there isn't anyone. He called out his last, Hal min Nasir yansurna. Peace be upon you, O heart of Fatima. On Ashura, in Karbala, cried Fatima, by Allah, I will never forget you, Hussein. For you I cry each day and night. My tears won't dry. Ya Zahra, I will never forget your Hussein. Hussein's flag bearer, Zainab's protector, to quench all the thirst, you went for water. His heart in that flask, the soul of Abbas. His flag starts to fall as he looks for Sakinah. He fell from his horse, how he landed on the sand. Abbas, just one thing we can never understand. How did you fall when they'd taken both your hands? Peace be upon you, Ya Abul Fadl al-Abbas. On Ashura, in Karbala, cried Fatima, by Allah, I will never forget you, Hussein. For you I cry each day and night. My tears won't dry. Ya Zahra, I will never forget your Hussein. The moon cried and cried. The stars began to wail. The sun closed its eyes when they pulled Zainab's veil. Zainab is in tears and heads are on spears. I see just beauty for the sake of Allah. She gathers children as she is taken to Sham. She cries as she leaves when she sees Abbas's arms. She gathers children as she is taken to Sham. She cries and she leaves when she sees Abbas's arms. She looks at Hussein and she says her last salam. Peace be upon you, Ya Zainab Kubra. On Ashura, in Karbala, cried Fatima, by Allah, I will never forget you, Hussein. For you I cry each day and night. My tears won't dry. Ya Zahra, I will never forget your Hussein. Salawat.
Thank you, Brother Muhammad Ibrahim, for that heartfelt and beautiful recitation. Another loud salawat for him. Before I bring up tonight's speaker, I would just like to thank everybody for this wonderful journey these last 10 days. And we've come a long way with the English program, and we'll continue to try to improve it every year. Please keep us in your du'as. But really, we couldn't have done it without the support of the entire masjid. We couldn't have done it without the support of all the reciters and volunteers. So please allow salawat for everybody. Now I would like to invite our respected scholar for his final lecture in this series. After loud salawat, I invite Sheikh Azhar Shirazi.
Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليكم وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين جميعا وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Brothers and sisters, tonight we are gathered for the commemoration of Sham-e Ghariban, Laylatul Ghuraba, the night of those who are estranged, who are lonely, aggrieved in Karbala. If you ask young people especially, I think they are not to be blamed when they read and listen and learn about the narratives that they find throughout the day of Ashura. They may have conflicting emotions about how they are to feel. For you find great musibah from the 1st of Muharram and onwards, great tragedies, events that make you weep and make you cry, make you mourn, grieve, wail. There are terrible events that took place on the day of Ashura. But there are also events and narratives that we read that almost make you wish to celebrate. How valiant and valorous were those men, women, children. There were women on the day of Ashura who valiantly gave their sons and congratulated them for their sacrifice. We spoke about Wahab, that her son went to the battlefield and her son came back to the tents without a body and only a head. But this mother congratulated her son, kissed her son, and threw the head back, saying, we do not give back what we give in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see companions on the night of Ashura making jokes, celebrating, excited for what is to come tomorrow. It is said that Imam Hussein, when he fought on the battlefield, the way that Amir al-Mu'mineen used to fight in Khaybar, Khandaq, Uhud, Hunayn, Badr, it is said that the Imam went towards the Furat and called out to Hazrat Abbas and said, "Oh Abbas, do you see how your master fights on the battlefield? That you are not the only one who scatters his enemies and makes them flee in fear." Someone would not be blamed if they wish to celebrate these moments, this courage, this honor, this bravery. It is something that may make some people feel that maybe we should not cry so much. Maybe we should laugh and celebrate this human achievement. But then you come to a night like this. You come to Sham-e-Ghariban and you realize there is no longer anything to celebrate. There are no cheers in the camp of Hussein when Habib came to the army and the companions of the Imam. But now Habib is lying headless on the sands of Karbala. And even the children who used to cry, Al-Atash, Al-Atash, we are thirsty, we are dying of thirst. Now they are not crying that anymore. They're crying, Wa Abbasa, Wa Aliya, Wa Husayna. There is nothing to celebrate on the night after the day of Ashura. And so, that is why we are here to give ta'ziyah and pursa to Ahlul Bayt on this night. And as young children, we are taught by our parents, how do you give your condolences to those who have lost someone, a father, a mother, God forbid, a child, an aunt, an uncle. It is difficult, but you teach them what to say, what words to use, how to encourage them to be patient, show them how that you can be supportive of them. But how do you give pursa and ta'ziyah to a family that has lost everything? That there is nothing left, there is no one left. Are you going to tell them to be patient? What do you have to say to such a family? They are gharib amongst the household of the Prophet. And then what do you say? What ta'ziyah do you give to a family in which the musibah has not even finished? The musibah is just beginning for Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salatu was-salam. It is said that Salama, after the events of Ashura, received and had a dream in which the Prophet of God came to her, and she sees him full of dust. There's dust falling from his hair and his head. Salama asks, Ya Rasulullah, in what state are you in? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, he says, I've just buried my son. The family of Hussein is now gharib in Karbala. They are lonely. They are estranged. Come and see how after Imam Hussein became a shaheed, there came the horse of Hussein back to the tents. Dhul Janah, the brave and valiant steed of Amir al-Mu'mineen, of Rasulullah. And now Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam has returned without his rider. And look and see the women of the Ahlul Bayt. They look at Dhul Janah and they collapse to the ground. Some of them, they hold on to the neck of the horse of Hussein. Some of them fall upon the body of the horse of Hussein. What do you say to a family who are going through such tragedy and hardship like this? And now see Lady Sakina coming to the horse and saying, Dhul Janah, when they killed my father, did they give him something to drink first? The Ahlul Bayt are ghareeb in Karbala. An order came now for the heads to be placed on spears. And now understand that Imam Hussein saw many tragic and terrible things on the day of Ashura. But he didn't see this. But Zainab saw this. Lady Sakina is watching the soldiers of Yazid take swords to their loved ones. They rip their flesh. They separate their heads. And now see 72 soldiers, their blessed heads shining, nur coming from their faces. But Umar ibn Sa'd, he says, there is one head missing. And so look and see how Lady Zainab watches thousands of soldiers stick their lances into the ground of Karbala. How long did it take before they found the heaviest and the smallest body in Karbala? And they lift the child to the sky. They separate the head of this small child, Abdullah al-Radi'a Ali Asghar. And now they complete the spears that have heads. Ahlul Bayt, they are ghareeb in Karbala. Now the order came to loot the body of Imam Hussein. They come to Imam. Now understand that when Imam Hussein went to the battlefield, he took off his clothes and wore different clothes, and he ripped and tattered them. He ruined his tabarrukat. These were the blessed tabarrukat of the Ahlul Bayt that they treasured with themselves. But he decided, let me rip it to pieces, that perhaps they will show mercy to Hussein in death, even though they didn't show any mercy to Hussein in life. But see how one mal'oon takes the turban of Hussein, one takes the shoes of Hussein. Umar ibn Sa'd, he takes the armor of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. May Allah curse this man. It is said that one came and saw that the Imam had a ring on his finger. And so he tries to pull the ring off of the finger, but he cannot pull it off. The blessed hands of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. And so he takes a knife and he begins cutting the finger of Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. This is the madhlumiyah of Imam Hussein after the day of Ashura. An order came to now muster the horses. Lady Zainab, she hears the sounds of horses being prepared for something. What more can they do? What more can this cavalry do that they already have not done? Umar ibn Sa'd calls for 10 volunteers, 10 horsemen to come. And look and see how he places 5 of those horsemen on one side and 5 of the horses on the other side. And Lady Zainab and Bibi Sakina see that the body of Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam is in the middle. and they ride from the right, they ride from the left, and they trample the body of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. Brothers and sisters, it is narrated that the last of those who trampled the blessed body of the son of Zahra, he says, I swear to God, as I was trampling the body of Hussein, I heard his ribs crack. I heard his bones break. It is said that when we looked at the body of Hussein thereafter, his chest cavity had collapsed. This is the Mazlumiyah of Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. An order now came for the tents to be burned. Why? Because the women folk and the children were being looted by these soldiers. They would take their spears and they would use them to rip off the chadars off of their heads. They would rip off their earrings from their ears. And so now look and see the Ahlul Bayt. The Haram of Rasulullah is hiding in the tents. So the order came, burn them. And now the women are now scattered in different directions. It is said that Imam Sajjad once had a tasbih, a sibha in his hand. And then the sibha broke, and now look, the beads of this sibha now scatter in different directions. He says this is how the children scattered on the night after the night of Ashura. Lady Sakina now runs for her life. She is frightened and she is scared. What more can Shimr do that he has already not done? Shimr grabs the child and slaps the child and rips the earrings off of the little girl. The reciters of Azza, they say that this is Karima bintul Karim. If you would have asked her for these earrings, she would have given them to you. She now runs into the darkness of the night. Humayd ibn Muslim, he was a chronicler in the Battle of Karbala. He sees this little girl running. Some say that she had fire lit on her dress. He comes to the little girl, thinking that perhaps I can help her. She says, "Oh man, get away from me. I am the daughter of the household of the Prophet. Do you not know that we are an honorable people?" Humayd, he says, "Little girl, I do not mean you any harm. I mean to help you." Lady Sakina has forgotten what it's like to meet people who have some kindness in their heart. So she says, "Oh Shaykh, if you will help me, can you direct me and show me which is the direction of Najaf?" "Little girl, Najaf is far from here. Why do you wish to go to Najaf?" Sakina says, "I wish to go to my grandfather and I want to tell him what they did to my father on this day." The 11th of Muharram has come, and now the order is made to shackle the women and children. They are put in shackles and in chains. They are lined up. Now they are to be paraded and taken to Kufa to receive their audience with Ibn Ziyad. But he decides to let me take them through the Maidan and show them what we have done to their men and their loved ones. When they see those that they love, they cry, they wail, they mourn, and they weep, until it is said that they come to the body of one that has his ribs cracked, his chest is broken, his head is now missing from his body. But they know who it is because the light and the nur is coming from the body of this son of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. They cry so loudly, they shriek and they weep. But one mal'oon soldier says that there was one woman who cried so loudly that after I heard her shrieking and her wailing, I could not sleep at night after this. It is said that when Lady Zainab sees the body of her brother Hussein, she cries so loudly. Brothers and sisters, there were two that they fell off of their horse. And when they fell upon their faces. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. Why? Because they did not have their hands available to brace their fall. One was Hazrat Abu Fadl al-Abbas. al-Baneen says that of all the stories that I heard on the day and the night of Ashura, it was my son Abbas' story, that when he fell from his horse, he fell upon his face, and he did not have hands to brace his fall. The other was Lady Zainab. Brothers and sisters, her hand is not shackled, but she falls from her horse. She falls upon her face, and now see how Zainab is now crawling toward the body of Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Wa saya'lamu alladhina zalamu ayya munqalibin yanqalibun. Matim Hussein, ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return. 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 Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return. 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 Whose arms will cradle me now? In whose warmth will I find rest? Where will I sleep, Baba, when there are arrows in your chest? My eyes will search for you at every twist and every turn. Do not leave me all alone. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me
you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Who will hear me scream when my earring is ripped from my ear? How hard the enemy will slap me when they have no fear. I will run searching for you when my dress begins to burn. Do not leave me all alone. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. How will I call out for help when the rope is choking me? I won't be able to breathe when your severed head I'll see. Who will look after me when I'm nobody's concern? Do not leave me all alone. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Baba, I know not to cry, shimmer will stop me again. If I can't walk anymore, they'll drag me up by my chain. Is this the way orphan children like me are taught to learn? Do not leave me all alone. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Is it true, Baba, that we will become a mockery? In Sham and Kufa, people will shower stones upon me. When they hit my open wounds, on every wound I will burn. Do not leave me all alone. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return.
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 In the dungeon, Sakina saw Baba's promise fulfilled. She was told she would see her father if that's what she willed. How could Sakina live after Baba's and she discerned? Do not leave me all alone. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return.
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 Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Baba, I'm scared you will leave me here alone to grieve and yearn. Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return.
Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Promise me you will return. Ya Hussein, Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein,
Ya Hussein,
Ya Hussein.
O Zainab, march ahead. O Zainab, march ahead. Step by shackled step. Bear the insults, bear the pain. Show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura. Show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura. O heir of Al-Hussein, is mission your bequest? The caravan he led and the future of Islam. He gave his life in sacrifice, still the tyrant sits in peace. Your word is needed, O Zainab, to shake him from his throne. Your word is needed, O Zainab, to shake him from his throne. O Zainab, march ahead, step by shackled step. Bear the insults, bear the pain. Show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura. Show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura. The women and children, now widows and orphans, dragged so far from home, you help them through sorrow. But who do you have, O Zainab, to help you in this grief? Your sons and brothers march along with heads upon the spears. Your sons and brothers march along with heads upon the spears. O Zainab, march ahead, step by shackled step. Bear the insults, bear the pain, show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura, show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura. In the court of Sham, you begin the tyrant's end. Though he's not worth your words, there's a message you must send. You march through pain and death, corpses of those you love. So help us also find the beauty that you saw. So help us also find the beauty that you saw. O Zainab, march ahead, step by shackled step. Bear the insults, bear the pain, show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura, show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura, show us Karbala. Speak for Ashura, show us Karbala. O Qa'im, stand, our need is great, calamities great, your absence long. O Qa'im, stand, our need is strong, calamity great, your absence long. Prepare our hearts, prepare our souls, prepare our bodies and our minds, so we may walk the narrow path, so we may serve you when it's time, so we may walk the narrow path, so we may serve you when it's time. O Qa'im, stand, our need is strong, calamity great, your absence long. Prepare our hearts, prepare our souls, prepare our bodies and our minds, so we may walk the narrow path, so we may serve you when it's time. Ya Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, ajil ala dhuhurik. Ya Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, ajil ala dhuhurik. Ya Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, ajil ala dhuhurik. Everybody, Ya Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, ajil ala dhuhurik. Ya Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, ajil ala dhuhurik. Ya Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, ajil ala dhuhurik. عجل على ظهورك. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد.
Inshallah, it's about 20 minutes until Maghrib. While you're preparing, we will recite Ziyarat Ashura. Salawat.
Sideshow.
Yeah, me and Iman will work together. Why don't you join us? اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا خيرة الله وابن خيرته. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة سيدتي نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار. يا أبا عبد الله، لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت وعظمت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل الإسلام. وجلت وعظمت مصيبتك في السماوات على جميع أهل السماوات. فلعن الله أمة أسست أساس الظلم والجور عليكم أهل البيت. ولعن الله أمة دفعتكم عن مقامكم وأزالتكم عن مراتبكم التي رتبكم الله فيها. ولعن الله أمة قتلتكم. ولعن الله الممهدين لهم بالتمكين من قتالكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم ومن أشياعهم وأتباعهم وأوليائهم. يا أبا عبد الله، إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم إلى يوم القيامة. ولعن الله آل زياد وآل مروان. ولعن الله بني أمية قاطبة. ولعن الله ابن مرجانا. ولعن الله عمر بن سعد. ولعن الله شمرا. ولعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتنقبت لقتالك. بأبي أنت وأمي، لقد عظم مصابي بك، فأسأل الله الذي أكرم مقامك وأكرمني بك أن يرزقني طلب ثارك مع إمام منصور من أهل بيت محمد صلى الله عليه وآله.
اللهم اجعلني عندك وجيها بالحسين عليه السلام في الدنيا والآخرة. يا أبا عبد الله، إني أتقرب إلى الله وإلى رسوله وإلى أمير المؤمنين وإلى فاطمة وإلى الحسن وإليك بموالاته وبالبراءة ممن قاتلك ونصب لك الحرب وبالبراءة ممن أسس أساس الظلم والجور عليكم وأبرأ إلى الله وإلى رسوله ممن أسس أساس ذلك وبنى عليه بنيانا وجرى في ظلمه وجوره عليكم وعلى أشياعكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم وأتقرب إلى الله ثم إليكم بموالاتكم وموالاة وليكم وبالبراءة من أعدائكم والناصبين لكم الحرب وبالبراءة من أشياعهم وأتباعهم. إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم وولي لمن والاكم وعدو لمن عاداكم. فأسأل الله الذي يكرمني بمعرفتكم ومعرفة أوليائكم ورزقني البراءة من أعدائكم أن يجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة وأن يثبت لي عندكم قدم صدق في الدنيا والآخرة. وأسأله أن يبلغني المقام المحمود لكم عند الله وأن يرزقني طلب ثاري مع إمام هدى ظاهر ناطق بالحق منكم. وأسأل الله بحقكم وبالشأن الذي لكم عنده أن يعطيني بمصابي بكم أفضل ما يعطي مصابا بمصيبته مصيبة ما أعظمها وأعظم رزيتها في الإسلام وفي جميع السماوات والأرض. اللهم اجعلني في مقامي هذا ممن تناله منك صلوات ورحمة ومغفرة. اللهم اجعل محياي محيا محمد وآل محمد ومماتي ممات محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إن هذا يوم تبركت به بنو أمية وابن آكلة الأكباد اللعين ابن اللعين على لسانك ولسان نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله في كل موطن وموقف وقف فيه نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم العن أبا سفيان ومعاوية ويزيد بن معاوية عليهم منك اللعنة أبد الآبدين. وهذا يوم فرحت به آل زياد وآل مروان بقتلهم الحسين صلوات الله عليه. اللهم فضاعف عليهم اللعن منك والعذاب. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك في هذا اليوم وفي موقف هذا وأيام حياتي بالبراءة منهم واللعنة عليهم بالموالاة لنبيك وآل نبيك عليه وعليهم السلام. اللهم العن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم العن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم العنهم جميعا. 2 more times. اللهم العن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم العن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم العنهم جميعا. اللهم العن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم العن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم العنهم جميعا. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. Everybody. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. 2 more times. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم خص أنت أول ظالم باللعن مني، وابدأ به أولا ثم الثاني ثم الثالث ثم الرابع. اللهم العن يزيد خامسا، والعن عبيد الله بن زياد وابن مرجان وعمر بن سعد وشمرا وآل أبي سفيان وآل زياد وآل مروان إلى يوم القيامة. السجود. اللهم لك الحمد حمد الشاكرين لك على مصابهم. الحمد لله على عظيم رزيتي. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود، وثبت لي قدم صدق عندك مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. صلوات على محمد وآله.